Hey there, Cassandra Kimball here from the Inner Peacemaker Parent Podcast. This is episode 52, Big Feelings from Changes with Your Family Pet. I was not expecting to do this episode today. I was planning on recording, but I had a different plan for what I was going to say. But I just had some really big feelings come up from I don't think you can hear it because I have a good microphone, but in my backyard right now, there's a sweet guy from our church group that is coming to he's in the backyard right now. He's disassembling the the chicken coop and the chicken run that he's actually doing just the run today, and he'll do the coop another time. But um so the chicken run that my husband has made with me and the kids last summer. Because we got little chickens last year during the summer. It was a fun family project, and we took time to build a coop and a chicken run. My husband was the expert master creator of all that. And he was the one that had the idea, and we asked our landlord if we could do it, and he said we could. So it's just been a really special thing for our family to try out. We've never had chickens before. That is so new to us. So we like checked out books from the library, and we watched YouTube videos, and we asked other people for their advice. Some people just gave us advice without us even asking. So it's beautiful. It all helped. So some more than other things, but it's good though, right? You have to, that's how you learn is by other people sharing what's helped them. That's what I'm doing right now, right? So that's what we're doing. We're just helping share. And so I've been sitting in my office working, I started feeling some big feelings as I was hearing, I can hear the tools out in the back, and I can hear I'm not very familiar with the tool names. I'm guessing it's some kind of drill or something. I'm sorry, my husband would be so embarrassed. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's like it's such a basic tool. But anyway, I can hear the tools out back. I can hear him working. And and it's just creating some big feelings inside of me. And I was like, this is so good right now. This is what I need to talk about. Um, so the reason that we're passing our chickens to another lovely person, is because my family we're moving this summer, a few weeks. And yeah, our next place is just not the right place for our lovely eight little chickens to come with us. So they're going to a new home, and I have a mix of feelings about them. And even while I've been in my office, just had a mix of feelings. And it's been good because um, I notice when it doesn't just come and go, when it stays inside of me, when my body keeps feeling it, that is the perfect time to be still with God, right? So we've learned about emotions. We want to do healthy emotion work. When you start feeling those big feelings and they're not just like passing through you, when it's kind of feeling stuck inside your body and it just keeps coming back on repeat, that is a sign it's time to be still. It's time to be still with God, which is exciting and wonderful, right? What a good reason. What a beautiful thing. I love emotions now even more than I ever have because I know when I feel those big feelings, time to be still with God. Awesome. So, yeah, I wrote down like all these facts about our chickens, and you guys don't need to hear all of that. Just know that they are eight beautiful little chickens, and they've been so much fun. And we've named all of them all different kind of, they have a variety of names, and and some names make sense, and some I've asked my 9-year-old, I'm like, why is this one named Princess Leia? And she has like a 2-minute explanation. And in her head, it makes perfect sense. And she's like, that's why. And so she like goes through this whole story, and she's like, and that's why her name's Princess Leia. It just makes me smile. So for whatever reason, if you want a 2-minute explanation, she can tell you. But anyway, these lovely little ladies, yeah, we've had them just since the summer. They were tiny little chicks, and they go through this awkward little teenage stage, and now they're just cute, fluffy chickens. And Um, I love going out there I have a little green towel that's dedicated to just be out with the chickens. And I wash it every once in a while, but it's my little chicken towel, and I sit on the grass and I have this green towel on my lap. And then there's usually three specific ones that always crawl into my lap and snuggle up with me. They're so fun. So I've been surprised how much I have come to care about them. And that's good because I just admit a lot of stuff out here that of my judgmental feelings in the past towards other people. I've been judgmental at different times in some small ways and then other times in bigger ways. Just because I'm human and I'm learning this life too, right? But I didn't realize how special pets could be. And I've only had my pets for less than a year, right? And I care about these little ladies and I feel big feelings about sending them off to another home. Um, yeah, I was starting to get emotional about it. Um, I'm like, it is time to be still with God. Let's get to it. So I wrote down some thoughts here, and I have a reason for sharing, right? I always like to have an intention of why I'm sharing these things on a podcast episode with you. I'm not trying to just waste your time, but in part, I want you to see how I process my emotions, and I hope it helps you. Or if you have a child that's processing a big change of an animal passing away or having to rid of a pet or something, right? Um, that you can see what I do and see if it helps maybe your kid too, right? I hope that really does help. So, yeah, I'm surprised. I'm just, hold on. I wrote, I'm surprised about something. Oh, I'm surprised how much I love these little girls. I am. I already shared that, but I am. That's one thing. I'm surprised how much I love them. And so that's helped me. This process has actually helped me not feel so much judgment for other people who have loved their pets. Um, and I wrote number two. Why am I talking about this on the podcast? I'm talking about this because I'm feeling big feelings about this, and it's a podcast about feeling big feelings, right? And then sorry, I tried looking right at the camera so I could be right here present with you, and now I've lost where my notes are. So here, let me get a little organized here. Let's see. Okay, I found my spot. So, so if I start feeling feelings in my body, I start just noticing like physically, what am I feeling? Like in my body, what am I feeling? Right? If your kid is feeling this, what are we feeling in our body? What do you feel? And I know for me, when I was feeling sad earlier, I wrote down some feelings in my body. I said, I feel it in the back of my neck. And I feel it in my throat because I was like trying to hold back some tears. And then when I started crying, I could just feel 'em in my throat and my neck area. I felt like a stiffness in my nose. I felt tense. Right, we're just noticing how we felt physically first. And then I just noticed like, what emotion am I feeling? And it was like, I know I'm feeling sad. I also felt a little guilt for being judgmental, like I could grow back in my head of when I was judgmental to other people who had really big feelings towards their pet. And so I feel a little bit of guilt. It's interesting. I'm just noticing, no shaming myself or feeling anything. Um, and I'll say that part too, because even before I hit record on to record this podcast episode, I started feeling a little embarrassed. I'm like, why do I feel such big feelings towards chickens? Okay, no, I'm not going to shame myself for, I'm not belittling. I don't want to belittle myself for anything I'm thinking or feeling at first, right? We're just initially just with God's light and love, we're just being so open. So I was like, why am I getting so worked up over these? They're just chickens. That sounds so belittling. See, I'm just letting myself, oops, excuse me. I'm just letting myself get it all out. Like, why am I getting so worked up? They're just chickens. I'm just hearing if there's anything else that's coming up. Like, I don't want to talk about that in front of other people. I don't really know what I'm talking about, right? Just all the big feelings coming up. And then I'm noticing more things that are coming up, more thoughts that are coming up. And I'm like, I don't know if the next person's going to love them the way that I could and the way that my kids did. I don't know if they're going to be cared for the same way, right? So then there's like this tiny bit of fear, right? I'm just noticing right now what emotions are coming up. And when I also did this when I was still long enough with God, I also felt this sense of sadness. Excuse me, that's my son's watch going off in the room. Hopefully it goes off soon. Um, but I also felt this level of sadness because I noticed that every Saturday when we do what we call our chicky chores, every Saturday when we do that, um, I love it. I secretly, now it's non-secretly, I non-secretly love when my family is doing something together. When we're doing something together, for some reason, I don't know if it's like being outside together, I don't know if we put some music on, it's just joyful. It's such a joy to me. And so I think too, there was this feeling of sadness in part because I was gonna no longer have that Saturday morning activity with my family. And that's so interesting. Like I was still long enough to stop belittling myself, stop being like, why are you getting so worked up, right? Like stop being mean to myself, just being so kind. And all those things just came out, right? Like that I care about them and what's going to happen to them. Like, are they going to be loved on? And I care about my time with my kids and my family. Like, these are all beautiful things. See, when I'm being still with God, with His light and love, I'm able to notice or to uncover kind of, right? It's like you're digging up all the layers. Like, what else? What else am I feeling and why? I love emotion work so much. I love being still with God, this being still process of being with Him and trying to uncover why do I feel this way, right? Um, so so this next part is where I just show myself lots of love. And instead of saying things like, you're fine, don't worry, you don't need to feel that way, or they're just chickens, right? Like all that like belittling stuff, I just say, instead of saying like, you're fine, Cassandra, I don't need to feel that way. Now I just prefer to just let myself be sad and just be sad with God, right? I believe He cares about my feelings. So I just took that time to be still with Him, feel those feelings, think those beautiful things. This is a beautiful thing. Isn't it awesome that God allows us to feel? I think emotions are such a gift to us. We're amazing human beings with these awesome feelings inside of us. And then I show some love to myself by saying, I'm so sorry you're sad. I'm sorry you feel those big feelings. I'm sorry you felt some guilt. I'm sorry you felt some fear. I'm sorry you felt that, right? Just saying sorry to myself, right? This is a way for you to fully feel heard. Sometimes we want to like feel heard, right? And seen by somebody. And when I do this process, I feel so seen and heard by God and by myself. And I just feel so good. I love this work. And then to finish up, I like getting creative. That's always my last step. So I'm like, okay, I fully heard out myself. Like, I wonder why I feel this way. I heard it all out. I was able to feel where it was in my body. Expressed that I was sorry, that I was feeling those things. And then we just get creative. We're like, is there anything that I can do to help those emotions inside of me? If not, maybe I just need to feel them. But there are some things I think I could be creative about. So I wrote down a few things. When I was reflecting, I'm like, maybe I could look up because I've learned before what happens to animals in the next life. But I'm like, maybe I could just, I'm not saying they're going to die right now, but if they do, I mean, if they do, when they do, right? Or because I just won't know, right? I feel like there's some kind of passing in that way. So just to be reminded of what the church teaches, of what things we've learned. So I just looked up an article. I looked up a few different ones, and this was my favorite one in the LDS Living magazine. Joseph Filling Smith said, animals do have spirits, and that through the redemption made by our Savior, they will come forth in the resurrection to enjoy the blessing of immortal life. In the Doctrine and Covenants, it says, all things shall become anew, even the heaven and the earth and all the fullness thereof, both men and beasts, the fowls of the air and the fishes of the sea, and not one hair shall be lost, for it is the workmanship of my hand. And then I had never heard this one. This was by Elder Orson F. Whitney, and he wrote that when Joseph Smith had a horse that died, Joseph Smith said of his favorite horse when it died, he expected to have it in eternity. I thought that was neat. I didn't know he had a favorite horse. Um, so that was something that came to my mind, right? Just being creative of like, how can I help those big feelings? And so to me, it was to look up some gospel quotes and some things that are comforting about, I'm going to see them again. I'm going to see them again. That's making me get a little emotional thinking about it in a beautiful way. Another thing that came to mind, right? Because I was in part sad that I was losing something on Saturday mornings to was losing a time to have with my family, an activity we do together. And so I'm so glad that came up. I'm glad that I realized that is important to me. That feels important. That feels like something I'd like to keep doing. And so maybe for like a family council or something, I could share that and share that I'd love to keep doing a family activity maybe once a month or however often. I don't know if it's every week, but it's something we can do all together where we're either serving or working or playing, right? Or we can rotate the thing we do or anyway. I just yeah, actually right as I said that, that's kind of exciting. I like the idea of like a service one week and just something short. It doesn't have to be like long. I know it's like the family night game, right, that we used to do every week, but this is something a little different. So service, sorry, I'm brainstorming while I'm talking to you. That's kind of exciting. Okay, pause, Cassandra. But it's just exciting. Um, see, I'm just trying to share a real life example of feeling a big feeling and how to be still with God, with His light and love, and just how to process a big emotion. And I hope that that helps you again, or one of your kids, maybe if that change is hard for them. I hope that can be comforting to them as well. Right? In John 14, it says, peace I leave with you, my peace I give unto you, not as the world giveth, give I unto you. Right? God is promising, I'm going to give you some more peace. If you come to me, right? Peace I give unto you. He's so awesome. I'm grateful we can feel big feelings around our animals. I've been reflecting, I've been grateful. I had a neighbor in Texas. We lived in a cul-de-sac, and at the very end of the cul-de-sac was a sweet lady named Susie, and she used to walk her little dog every day. And I remember one time her sharing that she was grateful for her dog because when she went through cancer treatments, and her husband was working during the day, that she had a little companion that was with her throughout that whole time. And so she was so grateful for her dog. Another example that came to mind was one of my brothers. My brothers went through a divorce, and at the time he had a dog. And at that time, I remember being a little judgmental, like, just get rid of the dog. That's too much work for you. But he later told me and shared that he was so grateful he had that dog because he said some mornings he did not want to get up, right? He was just going through a really hard time, going through a divorce, and he just did not want to get out of bed and he didn't want to face life and get going. And he said that the dog, responsibility of having a dog, right, needed to go outside, and that just got him going, that got him to do this first step. And so in my mind, I'm like, that was a gift to have that pet for my brother. So again, being less judgmental now, being more understanding, kinder, and more appreciative of these sweet little animals, right? Um, and then the last thought I thought of, speaking of animals, there's a song that we sing in church, and it's never like it usually just goes in one ear and out the other ear. It's never kind of resonated inside my heart the same way that it did a few weeks ago. And um, it's about a sparrow So about an animal. And so I'm just tying it in a little bit because I always want to share how much love that God has for you. And so this is the second verse, and it says, "Let not your heart be troubled." Those are in quotation marks, "Let not your heart be troubled," because that's a scripture, right? So then it says, "His tender word I hear, and resting on his goodness, I lose my doubt and fear. Though by the path he leadeth, but one step I may see," right? 'Cause sometimes we can only see the next step. "But one step I may see. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know he watches me. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know he watches me." Right? Because they're quoting that beautiful scripture of how his eye is on the sparrow and how much more he cares about all of us, right, in this earth. That if he's mindful of a little bird, how much more is he mindful of you? You are a loving son or daughter of God. I believe that with everything inside of me. And he loves your pets. What a beautiful thing. He loves them just like you love them. And you're going to see your pets again. The loving ones that you're just excited to see again, you get to see them again. Again, I hope this supports you or a child that you have stewardship over that is experiencing change with a pet. So thanks for your time today. I hope that was helpful. Take care. P.S. God always loves you. I know I whispered that. He always, always loves you.